Alrighty, let's see. Yes, okay. I am live. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. Welcome in. Come on in. We're going to get started here in a second. Working through the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. We just finished the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit Part 3 last night on TikTok Live. So if you missed that, I will be reposting everything over on YouTube. But first of all, you got to get your Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, okay? It is pinned in my profile on my TikTok shop showcase. And I don't think I can pin it here because I am on my computer because my phone didn't charge for some fucking reason. Yeah, so we're going through the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. We are going to get started. We are working through the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit page by page, day by day. I do a live TikTok every weekday in here. So once you've joined in, make sure that you click on the follow button, which will be right up here. Click on the follow button and click that orange heart to get your daily heart me and help me push my live out to other business owners who use QuickBooks Online. Why? Because nobody should be using QuickBooks Online without the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, okay? Nobody should be using QuickBooks Online without the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, friends. Okay, so we're going to get started. Let me see. Okay, perfect. We're ready. We're doing it. Okay. Alrighty. Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. We're starting over from part 1 because we finished part 3 last night. And I mean it whenever I say that we are working through the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit together, day by day, page by page, live here on TikTok. Every weekday. I'm changing around some of the times that I'm doing it. So if a time doesn't work for you, you're more than welcome to let me know what time does work for you. And if you have purchased the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, drop into the comments and let me know that you did purchase it and what time you want to see me go live, because I'd love to be on at a time that you're available because you guys are my clients. This is why I'm doing this. I'm helping you understand QuickBooks Online. I'm teaching you the things that bookkeepers, accountants, CPAs do not teach you about QuickBooks Online, about bookkeeping and accounting. I'm not going to talk over your head. I'm not going to use big fancy accounting words, right? I am making QuickBooks Online and business finances relatable to everybody who uses it that is not an accountant or a bookkeeper, okay? You do not need any special resources or education or experience to use, QuickBooks Online. All you need is me. I'm your friend. I am teaching you the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. I'm teaching you QuickBooks Online through the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, which is a digital course, okay? So when you purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, you do have the option to get this spiral bound workbook that I'm holding up right here. It is a neat little workbook. It's perfect for folks who love a spiral bound notebook, and it includes questions and answers. It includes checklists. It includes charts that you need to fill in about your business accounting to make sense of your bookkeeping. Okay, so when you purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, you do get lifetime access to the digital course, and then you choose whether or not you want to receive this workbook in a digital PDF or in real life. You want the actual physical spiral bound workbook, okay? So you get the choice, but purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit at bookkeepingfoundationkit.com or just from my TikTok shop showcase. It is pinned at the top of my profile. So check it out, bookkeepingfoundationkit.com. Get your purchase, get it open, get it ready because we're going to get started, okay? Like I said yesterday, we went through part 3, or we completed part 3 of the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, and that means that today we're starting over from page 1, literally. This kit has everything that you need to know to get over the procrastination hump, close the knowledge gap, and get your small business bookkeeping done right. While I created this kit specifically for business owners using a QuickBooks Online subscription to keep their books, these methods and strategies can be used alongside any accounting system or software. The Bookkeeping Foundation Kit is composed of multiple resources, the companion videos to this document, and the linked podcast episodes. So I do have a free public podcast. It's called Money Through Ease, and anybody can go listen to that podcast. But inside the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, I do give you recommended episodes that I want you to listen to in each part, because that is going to help lay the foundations, increase your understanding of business finances. A lot of the episodes are not just me talking either. They are episodes where I have a guest on and I'm interviewing somebody about their expertise with small business, okay? So the podcast episodes are available for anybody to go listen to. They're also available on YouTube. If I have a guest on the podcast, I post that video of my interview with that guest over on YouTube. I've put this information together in this way because I've got more than 10 years. I've got over 11 years of experience now in training people to do their own bookkeeping. That's right. I've been using QuickBooks Online for 11 years, and I have been teaching other people how to use QuickBooks Online for over 11 years. So I know what I'm talking about when it comes to QuickBooks Online. I'm telling you the things that other people don't tell you about QuickBooks Online. I actually give you the step-by-step resources and tools and instructions on how to use QuickBooks Online, and I don't use big fancy accounting words, okay? I want to work with people that are not accountants who need to use QuickBooks and need to have a bookkeeping system and need help setting up that system, okay? And that is what part 1 of the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit is all about. Right now, I am reading the introduction to the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit because you do need to decide on a schedule and a plan to work through this kit. It is just like a college course. You need to look at the syllabus before you get started and plan out how long you're going to do the materials, how long you're going to study. When are you going to watch the videos? What time are you going to do that? On which days? How often are you going to try to do this work? Are you going to do it every day until you make it all the way through? Are you going to work through it 1 week at a time and just take little bites out? Doesn't matter to me, but you need to decide. Okay, you need to set up a system for yourself to be successful. It is not just about clicking purchase. It is not about just putting in your credit card information and paying money to get the kit. That is not how you learn, right? If you take a college course, you pay tuition, and then what? You go to class. You go to the study hall. You go to the office hours with the professor. I do host office hours inside of my private community. You read the textbook. You do the homework assignments. You go, take the test and all that. So there is some level of participation required. So I'm looking for people that actually want to do the work, actually want to learn how to use QuickBooks Online for their small business, okay? So you may think that you and your business are special, right? And you are. Like, everybody is special in their own way. Everybody's unique. But when it comes to your mental blocks, the gaps in information that you have in your business, the things that are holding you back from doing your bookkeeping, the excuses that you use to procrastinate on this work, you're not special about that. None of that is special because I hear it all the time. Every day I'm meeting with people. I'm having consultations with small business owners, and they tell me the exact same things. Every day they're overwhelmed, they're anxious, they're not sure if things are right, they're afraid to even log into QuickBooks because they know that it's messed up and they don't know where to start, they don't know where to begin, they don't know what they're supposed to be doing in there, right? And so I hear that all the time. Your excuses are not unique. Your reasons for not doing this work are not unique, and that's what we tackle inside the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, okay? So if you're watching along at home, I want you to follow my account, click that follow button up top, and tap on that screen and help me boost my live, because we are here to change the way that people run their businesses. We are here to get more control over our money, over our numbers and finances, so that we can actually feel like in control of our lives, right? No matter what is going on in the world, no matter what is happening outside of you, even when policies and things change, you still have control over the way that you show up and the way that you handle your business, right? So we're not making excuses anymore. We are not procrastinating anymore. Get the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. The introduction to the kit walks you through how to set up your system for the course, when you need to be working through this material, how long you're going to spend to do that, what are you doing, okay? Most of the small business owners that I work with and that I know come up against the same issues. This kit is designed to cover all the areas that my clients and I work on inside of a training on QuickBooks Online, which I do host one-on-one trainings, but you need to get the kit first. You need to sit down and work through these materials first. These are literally the foundations of how to do bookkeeping. This is literally step-by-step introduction into how to do bookkeeping. And it is very important that I lay the groundwork before we get on a one-on-one training together. It's important that you know the terminology, the setup of QuickBooks, the best practices, and all the tips and tricks that I give you inside the kit. You need to know that before we sit down and work together one-on-one, okay? I help you troubleshoot the most frequently asked questions and problem areas that I see all of my clients struggle with, okay? So no more struggling, no more procrastinating, no more anxiety or fear. Before we start, whether or not you've watched the videos first, which if you are someone who has purchased the kit, you can watch the videos first or you can work through the workbook first. Doesn't matter to me, but again, you need to decide ahead of time what you want to do. Don't just dive in and get started. Don't dive in without a plan, okay? That does not lead to success. Just swiping the card, putting in the credit card details and stuff, that does not lead to success. Having a plan for how you're going to work through this material, that's how you ensure, that's how you make sure that you're going to be successful in QuickBooks Online in your small business. So whether you've watched the videos inside the kit or not, whether you've been following along with my weekday TikTok lives where I'm working through the kit page by page with you, doesn't matter. Indicate here, write it down, what time you will spend working on the contents of this kit and when. And then I want you to put it on your calendar. So I'm going to show you right here. I have my calendar. This is my planner, right? So every day I've got things that I need to do in my business, in my personal life even. I have my TikTok lives are on here as a check item every day. Every day I make sure that I go live on TikTok on the weekdays to work through the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit with you. I also put cleaning the cat box on here. I know what days I have to clean the cat box because I have an automatic one, so it can go a couple days and then I just pull the bag out and put a new bag in, right? Easy peasy. But I make sure that it's on my calendar. I make sure that I have a visual reminder. Sometimes I need to set a reminder on my phone. So then I'd put it on my phone calendar, my Outlook calendar on my phone as an appointment, and I set up reminders for myself, right? So you need to know for yourself, personally, for your personal life, for your business, what is it that you need to do to remember to do things? What kind of reminder systems do you need to set up for yourself to be successful? And then I want you to decide on how you're going to work through this kit and when, and then fill it in on page 1. I will work on the kit blank times per blank. So the options are, how many times do you want to work on the kit per week, month, or quarter? Quarter, I want you to do this. The kit's not going to take you that long to go through, okay? So you shouldn't have to spread it out over an entire quarter, right? You can probably get this done within the weekend, but I recommend really taking your time and sitting with this workbook and answering the questions in the workbook instead of trying to rush through, putting the videos at 2x speed, all that, right? We're not doing that. If you want to work on the kit every week, how many times? Once a week? Twice a week? A couple times a month? Do you have a couple of weekends where the kids aren't going to softball? Okay, am I back? I think it just blinked out on me, which is really annoying. Why can't the internet behave whenever I'm trying to do shit? I don't know, but it pisses me off. So write it down, how many times you're going to work on the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit per week, per month, and then which days. Okay, do you want to do the days 1 through 5 of the month, get started with your bookkeeping? Do you want to work on the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit every Wednesday because that is your admin day? Write it down. And then how long you're going to work on the kit, because you cannot just leave yourself to it, because there are distractions in your home, in your workplace. There are reminders and notifications going off all the time. And you might have other shit that you need to do, right? So deciding when you're going to work on it and for how long is an important part of your success. That is essential to get you set up for success with the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. So now that you've got a plan in place, you work it out, write it in your calendar, put it on a checklist for yourself. You've taken the first step towards success. So what happens if you're not following your plan perfectly? What happens if for some reason you skip a day? you skip the appointment with yourself to sit down and work through the material. What's going to happen? Am I going to come to your door and yell at you and shame you and make a video about you and say, oh, look at this person. They said that they were going to do the work, but then they didn't. They decided to scroll on TikTok or watch Netflix instead. No, I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. There is no punishment for doing things wrong, incorrectly, for not doing them, for not taking enough time to do them. None of that. There's no punishment in this kit for doing things your way, not doing them at all, not doing them consistently, doing things incorrectly, none of that. No punishment is a part of this kit. That's not how we roll around here. We don't punish the behavior we want to see, right? Let's talk about how to use this kit, because it's actually really important to know ahead of time what you're getting into before you purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. So I created this kit out of the resources, training, bookkeeping, consulting, webinars, podcasts, videos, workbooks I've created over the past 10 years of doing bookkeeping and accounting. So you'll have access to audiovisual content with captions and transcripts because I make sure that it is accessible for my people. This workbook, podcast episodes that relate to the content, and very important, 30 days free inside my private community. That's right. I have a private community where me and all my clients hang out. We talk about QuickBooks. I post an extra tutorial every month for my clients that is exclusive to the community. It doesn't get posted anywhere else. I do a live Q&A every month. The live Q&A replays do get posted. They are archived, and when you set up a free account inside the Mind the Gap community, which is my private community linked in my profile, when you set up your free account, you get access to all of the live Q&A replays. There is an archive of over a year so far that is building every month, obviously, of replays of the Q&As that I do with my clients, okay? Sometimes people come on live and ask questions. Sometimes I'm taking questions that have been submitted inside the community or sent to me via email or via DM or left as a comment on social media. I gather all the questions for the month into one video and I answer all of them. That's the live Q&A. You get access to the archive of that when you join the community. So you get 30 days free inside the private community with the monthly tutorial, the live Q&A call with me, the live Q&A archives of all the replays, and then you also get 2 virtual office hours with me every month. So every month I do 2 virtual office hours over on Zoom. This is the time that I'm sitting on Zoom and I'm either working or somebody comes on to ask a question, or they come on to chit chat, or they come on, to talk about what they're struggling with in their business. And it's just a time, virtual office hours that I've made available for folks to come in and spend time with me if they need to. So once you get your Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, you're going to join the private community. You're going to set up your account, and then you're going to start your 30-day free trial when you purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. Make a post and introduce yourself. Let us know who you are, what you do, what your business is, what your business goals are, what you struggle with most in QuickBooks Online. Post a picture of your cats. Share your favorite gift with us. Show us what you ate for breakfast. Don't care. I want you posting in there. I want you engaging with the other people inside the group, okay? Here's what you can include when you introduce yourself inside the community. Obviously, your name, your business if you have one. If you haven't started your business yet, tell us your idea or side gig or your business plans for what you want to do. Where we can find you, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, website, Facebook, whatever it is, share with us where we can connect with you, because we're here to support each other and to lift each other up and to engage with other business owners who are doing this work too. Tell us where you heard about the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. It is always fun for me to know where people are coming from, how they found my account, where they ended up in the process of purchasing the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. That's useful information for me because I like to know where my people come from. And then tell us which bookkeeping task you're most afraid of. What are you afraid of when it comes to logging into QuickBooks Online? What are you afraid of being wrong? And why is that stopping you? Why is that stopping you from getting in there, doing your bookkeeping on a regular basis, having control of your finances and your money? Why is that stopping you? What are you afraid of? Okay, share that with us. It is a safe space in there. I don't want anybody feeling like they're going to be judged We're going to shame them. We're going to tell them that they're stupid or that their question is too frivolous or silly or obvious. Like, none of that. Nobody's doing that inside the community, okay? It is a supportive place for you to engage with other business owners that are doing this work too. I suggest, however, that you read the workbook for the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. Read the workbook first before watching the videos, before listening to the free podcast episodes. You'll have access to the videos and the podcast episodes on your own time, but I want you to get inside the community first. So when questions come up, you can bring it to the group and ask. Introduce yourself in the community, get to know the community, get to know the layout, where everything is. There's a mobile app. Getting to know what's going on in the community first will mean that when you do have questions come up when you're working through this kit, you can bring it to the group. You can ask people the questions that you have. I've curated a brilliant community of my clients from 11 years of bookkeeping. Everybody is extremely supportive and helpful, and no question is too stupid or silly or obvious for you to ask, I promise. Throughout the next few weeks, once you purchase the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, I will reach out to you directly to see how the kit is going. How are things, like, have you gone through the videos yet? Have you completed the workbook? What have you run into in QuickBooks Online? Has it been a point where you stopped and you couldn't figure it out, and so then you just left it for another day and never came back to it? I want to hear from you. And you're going to hear from me in the meantime via email. This is my system for non-punitive accountability, meaning nobody's getting punished for doing the work, not doing the work, not doing the work perfectly, asking silly questions. Nobody's getting punished. This is non-punitive accountability. That means there's no punishment whether you do the work or not, you do a little or a lot. I'm checking in for your benefit because life is busy. I get that. I'm a business owner too. My life is incredibly busy too. I can't help but to make it busy for myself. Okay? But you're here to do your books the right way. And I'm the gal that's going to help you do that, my friend. You can contact me privately. You can send me a DM, respond to any email that I send out, and it'll go directly to my inbox. If things come up and you have questions or concerns about this material, let me know. Okay? So that is the introduction to the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit. We're going to read through some of part 1 together. And if you've got questions, drop down in the comments. Let me know. Because I would appreciate learning what you guys want to know about in terms of QuickBooks Online. So part 1 of the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit is all about setting up your accounting system. So I'll be honest with y'all, this is the least fun part for my clients. Setting up your bookkeeping system is the thing that my clients struggle with most out of the rest of this process. I recommend using QuickBooks Online for your small business accounting. And I'm not paid to promote Intuit's products at all. They do not fucking pay me to recommend their products to you. This is not a paid recommendation or endorsement. This recommendation comes from my own experience using their products for my business and my 11 years experience with my bookkeeping clients, okay? So in the first part of the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit, we go over the first step towards any accounting or bookkeeping work for a small business. Guys, I am giving you the exact steps, resources, tools that I use, tips and tricks that I know whenever I am hired to do someone's bookkeeping for them. Whether that is to set up their QuickBooks Online for them and get them set up so they can just get started, whether that is a cleanup project because they've been trying to do their bookkeeping, they're doing it wrong, they can't figure out what's going on, so they hire me to clean up their books for them. I'm telling you what my process is for all of that. For regular bookkeeping, for setup, for cleanup jobs. This is my system. So, the definition of a small business. Let's talk about this because, folks, you don't know if you're a small business or not. You don't know what the fucking S-Corp is. You don't know when you need to become an S-Corp. Somebody told you to become an S-Corp so you can save money on taxes. They're fucking lying to you. I don't want to hear it, okay? A small business is someone who's a side hustler, okay? A sole proprietorship. You are a sole proprietor if you don't have a separate business entity, but you're making money from freelance work or your side gig or your side hustle. You're a sole proprietor. You're a small business, but you're not separate from the business entity. And then we have what's called an LLC, a limited liability company. So an LLC is state run. That means that in your state, that is where you register your LLC. You get an EIN for your business, which is an employer identification number. It's basically like a social security number for your business. Your EIN is what you get from the IRS, and then you register your LLC with your state of residence, where your business is located, where your business is going to be registered. So those of you that have an LLC and who are still just a single member LLC, that means you don't have any partners, it's just you. You set up your LLC and you have not yet made the decision to become an S-Corp, which, by the way, doesn't happen automatically. You have to actively choose to become an S-Corp. So if you're not sure, that means that you are not an S-Corp. But if you have an LLC and it's just you, you're the only member on the LLC, there's nobody else, there's no partners or anything, what you're considered is called a disregarded entity. That means that the IRS recognizes, the state recognizes that you have an LLC entity set up that is separate from you as an individual, but the IRS says, okay, but disregard that. You're not incorporated or anything, you're not in a partnership, so you just need to report your LLC income, your profit and loss from your business on your personal return. That is what a disregarded entity is, okay? You can also have a multi-member LLC, you can have a partnership, you can be an S-corporation. All of these are examples of small businesses, okay? So let me know, which one do you fall under? If your business does not fall into one of the above categories, this kit is probably not for you. But for the most part, people that come to me are one of those types of businesses, and that means that this kit is going to be useful and helpful to you. So you're in the right place. There are valuable resources to be had here. I don't want you going anywhere. We have to cover the basics first before you can jump into the deep end of the bookkeeping pool, right? So right now, when we set up our bookkeeping system, we're putting on our floaties. We're putting on our sunscreen. We're putting on our goggles to make sure that we're ready to dive into the material, okay? All right, friends. Setting up your accounting system in QuickBooks Online. I'm going to give you 2 recommended podcast episodes. These are public podcast episodes. They are free for everybody to listen to. That is episode number 56, and it is called Mastering Bookkeeping, a simple 3-step method for small business success. Again, episode 56 of the Money Through Ease podcast. It is public. It is free. It's available for everybody to go watch or listen to. Episode 65 is called The Magic Number is Zero, Why You Need a Financial System from Day One, okay? Because I don't want y'all taking money from people unless you have a system to keep track of it. I'm going to say it again. I do not want you taking money from people unless you have a system to track that money that you're making, okay? And the money that you're spending, obviously. That's what a bookkeeping system is. The magic number is 0 because before you start taking money from people, you need a system to track it. You need a financial system and a bookkeeping system to track the money that you make before you start making it. Okay, friends? Very important. Once you have this shiny, brand new software like QuickBooks Online to house all your financial records and accounting data, you're going to need to focus on the very core of this system, and that is the chart of accounts. Okay? The chart of accounts is like the hub of your business. If you imagine like a bicycle wheel that has a hub at the center and all the spokes going out, your chart of accounts is the hub of your bookkeeping system. The chart of accounts is just a list, okay? If you want to think about it as a hub, as a bicycle wheel with spokes, or you could just say the chart of accounts is a list, because that's what it is. It's a list. It contains all of the different ways that you're going to categorize transactions in your bookkeeping. You can think of some categories already, probably. You can tell me. You've got business operating expenses. You have to keep the lights on. You got to keep the internet going. You have advertising costs for your business. These are all operating expenses. So these are all categories on your chart of accounts. Easy. What most people don't realize is that the chart of accounts also needs to be set up correctly with your bank, credit card, loans, equity, liabilities, and of course your income and expense categories, right? And we're going to talk about what all of these categories are inside the kit. There are 5 category types that you need to have on your chart of accounts. These are going to be default categories that are already set up for you inside QuickBooks Online, so you don't have to do anything, okay? These are already set up for you, and that's why we pay money for software like QuickBooks Online. We want things to be set up. I don't want to have to sit here and make a whole spreadsheet for y'all. No, I'm not doing that, okay? Go find somebody else to do that. I'm not doing it. I'm not the one. Your chart of accounts is going to be a default thing in QuickBooks Online. So just pay for it, get it out of the way. There are 5 category types. They are default category types, and that is number 1, assets. Number 2, liabilities. Number 3, your equity accounts. Number 4, your income accounts, income categories, business revenue. And then your expenses, how you spend money in your business, how you have tax deductions in your business. And they're going to be in this order on your chart of accounts list. So unless you sort the list just some other way, like the name of the account, or if you have numbers on your accounts, they're going to be in that order. You only need to identify the basic accounts for your system to be set up. And those basic accounts are your bank accounts, your credit cards, your owner's investment and owner's pay accounts, which means that when you invest money into your business and then when you withdraw money from your business, those are equity accounts and they need to be set up. And then your income categories, okay? And then your expense categories as well. But I give you inside the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit 2 sample chart of accounts. A lot of this is going to be default already, but I want y'all to look at the sample chart of accounts that I have in here. One is for service-based businesses. If you're not selling a product and you're providing services and you are making income off of those services, you're going to use the service-based business chart of accounts. If you are selling a product, whether that's in person or e-commerce, doesn't matter, digital products, you're going to use the retail chart of accounts template. And I want you to look over that list in there, look over those chart of accounts and highlight the ones that you want to use, cross out the ones that you don't want to use, and then you're going to adjust your chart of accounts in QuickBooks Online to reflect that. Okay, so I give you the templates, and then I want you to actually go in to QuickBooks Online and make sure that all of your accounts are set up the way that you want them to be, the way that I line out for you in the chart of accounts templates in here, okay? So that is where we're going to stop for today. Remember, the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit is $77 if you get the digital version. If you want the PDF workbook, then the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit is $84.99, and it is pinned in my TikTok shop, or you can just go to bookkeepingfoundationkit.com to purchase today. You will get instant access to the course, all of the videos, all of the digital materials and resources, the 30-day free trial inside the community, which I will be doing virtual office hours. Today's Wednesday. It's the last Wednesday of the month, or it's the 4th Wednesday rather. I will be doing virtual office hours later, which is where my people can come on and hang out with me on Zoom. But that link is exclusive to the community, okay? So you either need to pay for a community subscription or you need to get the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit and then set up your free trial inside the community, okay? So my friends, if you have questions, leave them in the comments below. I will be posting the replays from my TikTok lives over to YouTube. So if you've missed a day, you can go watch me work through the Bookkeeping Foundation Kit workbook with you step by step, page by page, getting your QuickBooks Online set up to work for you and your business. Make it customized for you, make it work for you. Otherwise, you're wasting money, you're wasting time, and you don't know what the fuck's going on in your business, okay? All right, friends, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope everybody has an amazing day.